Look around, see the gleaming towers of the wealthy, monuments to excess. Now, look closer. See the sprawling slums, the faces etched with despair. This is the reality of our world, a world of haves and have-nots, a world where the gap between rich and poor grows wider every day. We live in a system that rewards the few at the expense of the many. The top 1% amass unimaginable fortunes, while the rest struggle to survive. This isn't just inequality, it's a form of economic violence, a slow, grinding oppression that keeps the majority down. The truth is, true equality is an illusion, a fairy tale we tell ourselves to avoid confronting the ugly reality. The system is rigged, designed to benefit those already in power. And until we acknowledge this fundamental truth, nothing will change or get better. Inequality isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. It's baked into the very fabric of our society, woven through centuries of exploitation and greed. From the colonial conquests that plundered entire continents to the slave trade that built empires on the backs of the oppressed, the roots of inequality run deep. We inherit this legacy, this system designed to privilege the few. The sins of our fathers are visited upon us, shaping our world in their image. We tell ourselves it's different now that we've moved on, but have we really? The mechanisms might be more sophisticated, the language more palatable, but the game remains the same and biased. Capitalism, the engine of our modern world, is a machine fueled by inequality. It thrives on competition, on winners and losers, but the game is rigged. The wealthy hold all the cards, controlling the means of production, dictating the rules of the game. Financial crises and market meltdowns, those periodic shocks to the system, expose the fragility of this facade. While the rich might experience a temporary setback, they are quickly bailed out, their wealth always protected. The poor, however, are left to weather the storm, their lives and livelihoods shattered by forces beyond their control and left to suffer. This is the cycle of inequality, a self-perpetuating system where the rich get richer and the poor are left further behind. It's a system that incentivizes greed, that rewards exploitation, that thrives on the backs of the vulnerable for a few to profit from them immensely. Look at our education system, a system that claims to be the great equalizer. But the reality is far different. The wealthy send their children to elite private schools where they receive a world-class education, groomed for positions of power. The poor, meanwhile, are relegated to underfunded, overcrowded schools, trapped in a cycle of poverty and limited opportunities. Healthcare tells a similar story. The wealthy enjoy access to the best doctors, the latest treatments, while the poor are left to navigate a labyrinthine system, often forced to choose between their health and their financial security. This is the reality of inequality, separate and unequal systems that perpetuate the divide between the haves and the have-nots. It's a system that denies opportunity, that stifles potential, that condemns generations to a life of struggle and yet rationalizes them as a mere fact of life. We cling to the myth of democracy, the belief that our voices matter, that we have a say in how our society is run. But this too is an illusion. The wealthy control the levers of power, bankrolling political campaigns, influencing policy decisions, even controlling the sharing of information, ensuring their interests are always protected. The media, our supposed watchdog, is complicit in this charade as, end of the day, it's all business and profits. Owned by corporations, beholden to advertisers, they shape the narrative, control the flow of information, and distract us from the real issues. We are bombarded with distractions, fed a steady diet of consumerism and celebrity gossip, while the real issues, the issues that matter, are swept under the rug. We think we have a choice, but the options are carefully curated, the game rigged from the start and the results meticulously forecasted. Inequality isn't just an economic issue, it's a cultural one. We are bombarded with messages that glorify wealth, that equate success with material possessions. We are taught to aspire to a life of luxury, to envy the rich and powerful, to measure our worth by the size of our bank accounts. This relentless pursuit of wealth comes at a cost. It breeds competition, fosters individualism, and erodes our sense of community. It creates a society where empathy is in short supply, where the suffering of others is easily ignored. We are conditioned to accept inequality as the natural order, to believe that some people are simply destined for greatness while others are fated to struggle. This is the lie we tell ourselves, a lie that serves to justify the status quo, to maintain the power dynamics that keep the few in control and others to blindly follow the rules no matter what.